my God. We just finished interviewing fucking Nick. No, Ned. We just finished interviewing Ned, and he's lit. And Nick just called him a bearded woman, which show Nick Ned real quick. It does look like a bearded woman.
It's your jewelry, bro. You look like a gypsy. You look like a bearded lady gypsy.
I have a list of questions for Nick Colletti that is going to blow your fucking mind. We're going to really unveil what's going on. Hey, how did you enjoy doing your Gangsta Boo podcast that you co-hosted on the other day?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
She's like the coolest lady ever.
The coolest lady. And
Woman.
You went home with her in the Uber. How was that?
It was cool.
Riveting?
Very riveting.
Very exciting.
She was not afraid to speak her mind to the Uber driver. He was like kind of driving slow, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm never gonna get home." And I was like, "Okay."
So she dissed the performance of the Uber driver?
Right.
I love this.
It was tight.
And so what was your reaction? You're just sitting there thinking what?
I was like, "Fuck."
I'm with the goddess of hip-hop.
Right. I just kept my mouth shut, and I was like in the corner.
I just got to deal with this.
Right.
Everybody wants to know, what was your first Vine?
First Vine. I was at the car dealership that I used to work at, and I just made this stupid thing, and I didn't think anything of it, but
So-
then I kind of got into it after.
You worked at a car dealership at what age?
18, I think.
Okay, and what were you doing there?
Lot attendant.
Lot attendant. Okay, and so, but do you remember when you downloaded Vine and like what you thought of it? Because I remember downloading it and not really knowing what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah, someone told me about it, and I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And then I did it, and it was kind of funny. And then the more I played around with it, it got funnier. And then it got really funny, and then I was doing it all the time. And
Were you a comedian even before this? Like from a young age, you consider yourself a comedian of sorts, or were you like a funny kid?
yeah, probably, yeah. My family would say that, definitely.
You always were like, did you like notice and like identify that feeling of making people laugh like at a young age? You remember realizing like, okay, this is like the joy that I'm going to bring into the world.
Yeah, that's like a high for me. Like seeing people laugh and like, I don't know. It's just like crazy feeling.
When did you start to realize that the Vine thing was actually gonna? When did it start to escalate?
When people were like noticing me in public.
Right.
That shit's crazy.
Do you remember like what follower level you might have been at when that happened?
Probably I don't know. It started like locally. Like I would go to like West Virginia University and hang out with my cousins, and people would recognize me there. And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then it just kind of like blew up from there. Like now people like come up to me in the airport and shit.
Is it all the time, huh?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Is it weird?
It is kind of weird, but it's really honestly like cool. Like
You enjoy it?
it's
Kinda?
super cool. Yeah.
See, that's the funny thing to me is that like we're like BMX famous, basically. I guess I could say. So it's like you pretty much never get noticed by any. You might get noticed by like one person if you go to like a concert or something. You go to like a BMX thing, you get noticed by everybody, or you have to talk to everybody. But like you have this weird one where it's like anybody with a Vine might just know.
Right.
It's this whole weird
Yeah.
category you fall into, I guess.
Yeah. It's like I don't know.
Do you-
It's still so new that everyone's like trying to figure out like what it is, but
Were you making stuff on YouTube and everything before Vine?
yeah, I've been making videos since I was like a kid, like just funny, stupid shit with like my cousins. But yeah, like never really took it seriously until people like gave it attention.
When did you move to LA?
About 7 months ago.
And for what purposes? Just to make it?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yeah, I mean Pittsburgh's like the best city in the world, but
And that's you grew up in Pittsburgh or like outside it?
yeah, in like a suburb outside of it, but yeah, Pittsburgh's like my hometown.
And so was it tough to leave PA or what do you think of LA?
It wasn't tough to leave at first, but now it's like you miss everything about being at home. And I don't know. It's just like little things, you know, like I can't get certain deli meats here that I can back home. And just like like dumb shit that you don't think about. And then when you don't have it, you're like, fuck.
Do you like are deli meats a big thing to you or
Yeah, like sandwiches. Like when I went home for like my dad flew me back for my mom's birthday, I made like 18 sandwiches with just like $4 ham that you get from just because it's like fuck, I can't get this in LA.
ham on everything?
Ham on everything.
So ostensibly, me and these guys own like clothing brands. How would you describe your own personal style?
Coles. Comfortable wear. I don't know.
Cozy wear.
I pretty much just wear whatever anyone gives me to wear.
So there's never any like the sandals that you're wearing right now. Can we see those? Can you put one on the table?
My Birks.
Is this what you wear every day?
Yeah, pretty much. They're just super functional and for white people. So
right. Do you feel like you fit in LA wearing those, or do you?
No.
You don't
Everyone
feel like
hates me. Seriously, everyone hates me
in LA.
Yeah.
Or because of the shoes.
I went to a party one time with cargo pants and like Tevas, like thong sandals, and like a T-shirt. And I swear to God, I think the music like scratched. Everyone was just like, all these cool kids wearing like boots and like have greased back hair and like leather jackets.
But don't you think that he's kind of pulling off like the Ian Connor thing, where Ian Connor can get away with wearing Skechers because he's this like trendy, hot kid, yeah, and he can kind of get away with wearing cargo pants and Birkenstocks.
I'm not trying to get away with anything. I'm just poor.
Oh, really? It's not like a. So, do you think that if you had like $200,000 coming in a year,
Yeah.
that you would be rocking,
Yes.
Gucci flip flops?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Can we be there when you like go shopping when you finally like?
Yeah, I really do think that like designer brands are like, I don't know, I'm Italian. It's like at the end of the day I'm like a gaudy idiot, so I like shiny shit and fancy clothes.
Is that what your parents were like growing up?
No, but I told that to my mom and she's like, "That's okay, you can do that." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna do that."
So if you had like a couple grand right now and you were gonna go get like an outfit for like an award show or something, like where would you go shopping? Could you see?
Probably Burberry, honestly.
Really?
I just love the brand and the prints are sick.
Wow, that's cool.
And
I
it's
love that
like-
you're able to manage the fact that you currently kind of dress like a bum and that
Right?
you think at some point in the future this
Yeah.
may happen. A lot of like trendy, hot little like model dudes on Instagram and shit, they have like a sponsor. When they wear like crazy ass like really nice clothes, they have like some guy or some person that's like kind of bringing them up in the game by giving them all this dope shit. That could be you.
Could be me.
We need to find a sponsor for you.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I'm just
Stylist. That's a big step.
I try to dress all trendy like sometimes and be like, yeah, I look cool. And then I'm just like, this isn't comfortable. I just want to wear like stupid like shorts and shit.
I think that fits similar into the ethos of the Ain't Nobody Cool guys because they both like own a clothing brand, but then they clearly are.
I sleep in all their clothes and just wear like I'll wear the Playboy shirts like 4 days in a row. Honestly.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Same here.
So you've previously said that you're a comedian who happens to use Vine, not a Vine comedian.
Right, I guess.
What does that mean? How does that work out for you?
Yeah, so I think of Vine as like just a medium. So it's like someone who uses SoundCloud isn't a SoundClouder; they're a musician. So like, I don't know. I guess I'm just like a funny person who's using Vine.
Do you hang out with anybody else who happens to be like a big deal in Vine?
Yeah, I have some Vine friends. They're cool, honestly. Like Zach Piona and like Wally, kids like that. They're just like cool dudes.
Have you ever hung out with like Vine people who are like lame as fuck and like really like weirded you out by like, because I've read like an article about them and it was just describing like what they're like when they all get together and
it's just really fucking weird, honestly.
Some of anything in particular that you've ever seen that hit you is like,
just
wow, that was strange.
Vining with each other and collabing, and you're watching it happen, and they're just like, all right, now turn the phone this way. All right, cool, okay. Oh wait, we have to do that again. Oh, there's not enough time.
Yeah,
like,
and they're all shouting each other out, and there's all this like weird.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost like how they breed like rabbits, and it's like incestual. Everyone's just like, yeah, let's refine each other. Come on. This is crazy bullshit, yeah.
What was Young Turd was before the Vine fame.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Uh-huh. So what was like the mentality that went into the Wooby Woo video just to start there?
Wobby Woo.
Wobby Woo. Was that the first like significant song that you had?
Yeah.
That's how I found out about him.
Yeah.
Push that in your face a little bit more.
I remember
Wobby Woo. And fucking Dr. Toilet.
Dr. Toilet.
And who's Dr. Toilet?
Fucking
He's my
amazing.
cousin, Jake.
God.
Right.
He's like addicted to dabs, and he plays RuneScape every day.
And so was like making like fake rap songs or like funny rap songs, was this like kind of just a normal part of your life coming up?
It was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was so fun.
So do you get tempted to like bring these characters back and continue to
every
perform this rap persona?
Every day.
So what stops you from like, okay, today we're going to make a new Wooby Woo video?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Just, you see, that's what I think a lot of people are interested in is like, what is the creative process for somebody like you? Like, do you wake up in the morning and think like, all right, I'm going to fucking make something for the internet today. I'm going to make something for Vine. And
That's
YouTube.
all. I literally like can't go a day without making something. It's just like I wake up and have to like, it's either a song or like a Vine or like take a picture of something or draw something. It's just like.
So what'd you do today? You woke up.
I woke up.
At what time?
I woke up at 7 today.
Okay.
I worked out.
Why?
I just wanted to wake up early. I think I was like, I got really high last night, and I was like kind of tripping out. So I don't know, maybe it had something to do with that. But I woke up really super early. I went into my studio, started working on music, smoked a cigarette,
Single
looked
cigarette.
at some art stuff, looked at some Twitter stuff.
And then you just, at some point, you'll just sort of get inspired to start
Right.
making something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Have you ever had people like trip out on you about the fact that you're like pointing the camera at your own face, filming yourself, saying weird things in weird voices?
It's even like my mom will call me. It's fucked up. It's like the weirdest.
Your mom will
thing.
call you and say what?
My mom watches all my shit. And
Really?
She reads the comments on all my shit. I swear to God. And she'll report back to me like, yeah, they weren't really feeling that one. I swear to God. And I'm like, all right.
What about the vines about your mom? Because I feel like you do a lot.
She just shakes her head. She gets that I'm just playing, but she's like, why do you do these things? She it's funny. It was funny when I used to live at home and like do the vines, and she would hear me doing them.
Yeah.
And just be like, you need to stop doing that.
But have your parents, for the most part, been pretty supportive of you trying to be funny on the internet?
They're super liberal.
Nice.
Like for the most part.
And you're only 21.
Yeah.
This is astonishing. Hey, so another thing that you said that I thought was really funny is you said that everybody has expectations for you and like certain things that they think you're going to be like, and then they get bummed out when they like look at Twitter or something and realize that you're an actual person with an actual personality.
Right.
This happens.
Yeah.
Like what, they expect you to be like not a pothead.
It might just be in my own head, honestly, but I feel like people definitely do expect certain things from people, and then when they're not, you know, when they're not satisfied, it's like everyone's like, ugh.
How was your yogurt, by the way? Was that
It was
good?
pretty good.
What are you doing eating yogurt in the middle of the day? You got a special diet you're on or
I'm
something?
hungry, man. I got to eat like fucking 1,000 times a day, or I literally will hit the ground.
Really?
Really?
How's that work?
How's your back? I heard it was
It's
better.
getting better. It's getting better, man. I jumped around, did
Pulled
some
out around
fucking
right in your
push-ups.
face.
I
That's
did
good.
some push-ups the other day. Chef.
Some cush-ups.
Just you could just
push-ups.
yank it towards your face.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll. All right, there was that. Is that it? Is that? Can you hear me now?
That's
Should I
great.
hear myself?
Are you really concerned about his back problems? Because I am.
Yeah, I am.
And it sucks because
always
I've
talking
had
about
crazy
it.
back problems before too.
I mean, it's put me out fucking 4 months now, 3-4 months. I like to lift weights and do push-ups and stupid shit like that, and it's depressing. Is that the fucking
Definitely depressing,
You
yeah.
kind of want to blow your brains out sometimes, but you say one of these days I'll be back doing push-ups and I don't have to blow my brains out. And pray to God that happens.
You ever exercise?
Yeah, I love exercise.
What do you do?
Exercising is tight.
Swim in my pool and jog.
So you moved to a place in LA where you could still have a pool and a studio.
Yeah,
This sounds pretty good.
it's pretty tight.
Me and Began need to come over.
Yeah, come over.
Yeah, but
Bayesian.
Bayesian. So where do you live again? The North Hills.
North Hills.
So you moved to this area in particular.
Sounds like something from fucking Lord of the Rings.
It sounds cool.
I
just
live in the
general.
North Hills. Come to my pad.
And so would you describe yourself as fully like antisocial? Like you just sort of like, because you've said that you only been to one ham on everything, right?
Yeah, I've been to like two or that was kind of an exaggeration. Like two or three.
And
I don't know, just like people, man. I don't know.
Do you have like
I can
social
understand that
anxiety?
than a motherfucker, man.
I don't know what it is. Like lately, it's just like when I was a kid, I used to love going to parties and shit. But it's like, I don't know, man.
Do you think you're freaked out because of your internet fame? That it's just kind of weird to be around people?
That's honestly, but
Dude, you gotta just soak it up and just be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking go and I'm gonna deal with all this bullshit.
I'm so weird. I feel so like I like get so personal with people that come up to me, and I'm like, I feel them on like so it's like it's not even a fan. It's like a person who likes me
Right.
as another person. So I get like. I don't know. I just get attached to people.
You feel guilty when you like can't give them the attention that you think that conversation
that's exactly
deserves.
it. Every
Yeah.
time, like even like when my friends come over, I'm like, I'll like stress out. Honestly, like I'm not entertaining them. They're bored.
Right.
I feel like I'm like responsible for their boredom. Like that. Like that's why I never have people over, because I fucking feel terrible every time they come over.
I'm glad we could talk about this because that is
This
the
like
weird part of
psychological like coming to fucking surface.
that's the weird thing about being like semi-internet famous is that you just start to feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to have like a real conversation with anybody that I just meet randomly, because if they
Right.
come up to me like knowing who I am or whatever, then you just automatically kind of you're tempted to just put them in a box and be like, oh, like, hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. Shake your hand, and then that's
Yeah.
kind of it.
Yeah,
but then
it's
like,
kinda like that.
it feels like shit because you're like, I remember when I used to like meet people and actually felt like I had a connection with
Right.
them.
Or like I had to do something to make them like me.
Right.
Like especially with girls, it's like
Yeah. So is your girl situation crazy? You told me you had a girlfriend for a long time. How long?
I was dating a girl for about a year.
Okay. And that ended recently.
Yeah, that ended. Yeah, kind of recently.
Did she make the move out here with you or no?
No.
Okay. So it had to end.
Right.
And so Puya famously sat in this chair and said, Nick Colletti got bitches. What are your thoughts? How do you feel when you heard him say that?
I plead the fifth.
He's a person that probably gets a lot of bitches, to be honest.
He does.
Yes, you've seen
He
this?
gets a lot of bitches.
Okay, and like, how would you describe the kind of? So, are you fucking your groupies?
Oh, man.
Are you back fucking your groupies? Have you done this? Have you like just had sex with girls who were just straight up like Vine fans and they like wanted you to like smoke a cigarette and make a joke halfway through?
I don't know if I want to talk about this.
We can just hypothesize, you know.
Maybe that possibly could have happened.
Okay, but all right, let's say that you've only ever done this one time.
Okay.
Was it like a strange mentality, like going into?
Yeah,
Do you feel
it's
weird?
so weird.
Feel kind of like taken advantage of?
I feel like, yeah, I mean, not really. I feel like, I don't know. It's so fucked up.
You're 21, dude. You're not like emotionally ready for this.
I know. I'm like fucking, I don't even know who I am yet. And I'm like fucking people. It's crazy. Having sex should be illegal until you know who the fuck you are. Because seriously.
When did you lose your virginity?
When I was 16.
Was it weird? What happened?
Oh, it was the worst.
Why?
It was the worst shit ever.
What were you listening to?
Nothing. It was. I had sex on the fucking trail by my house that I used to walk with like my parents with this fat chick. And it was the worst thing ever. And the next year in school, everyone found out, and everyone was confronting me about it, and I like just was having the worst time ever.
Wow.
Right. It was the worst.
That's amazing. The path. Because I totally know what you're saying because there was definitely like a path by my house too. I
Yeah.
bet that the area I grew up in was kind of
Man,
similar to yours.
It was like dewy at night, and like fucking there was like the moonlight. I could like see her, and it was
I could see her.
It was really just bad. It was a really bad
Was she?
time.
What'd you do? Did you like bend her over and have sex from that position?
No,
or did you
it was,
like
like,
lay her down in the
straight
dirt?
missionary, yeah. It was, like-
She laid down in the dirt.
Yeah.
And so
In the
what?
grass.
What
In the
series
dewy
of
grass. It was like a
situations?
poet. It was like poetic.
What series of situations
in the
led to you to be on the path with this fat girl that you were hanging out with?
Just my charm, the Colletti charm. Girls
that a
can't
real
resist
thing?
me. Yeah, I think so.
Let me ask you this: when you end up in a situation, like say you meet a girl at a bar, let's say she doesn't know you for this example, and you just have to, talk to her. Do you feel like you have like a pretty good like charm about you, a pretty good ability to win her over?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I can pretty much feel people out, like if I'm gonna be like compatible with them. I don't know.
It's cool that you care about being compatible instead of just caring about.
Yeah, I definitely
immediately
because
having
it
sex
sucks
with them.
if you just fucking like. I've done that so many times. It's like, okay, like now it's time to not do that anymore.
You're saying you had enough one night stands that you no longer feel that
yeah,
desire.
it's like boring almost. Like I don't like what.
What?
I want to like feel something, like I don't know.
So did you feel something that one night on the dewy grass in the path?
Honestly, probably.
You
I
kind of
think I
dug her at the
cried
time
when I went home.
You did,
I
really?
think probably something like that happened.
A little-
I think I felt so bad that I did that.
Right.
Because I was like, oh my God. Like when you come for the first time.
Oh yeah, and you realize how horrible
from
having just
sex.
came
I've,
is. Yeah,
I've came so many times before having sex.
right.
But like when you come from a vagina stimulating you, it's like the craziest thing ever.
Right, because then that like feeling of like, oh my God, I want to get the fuck away from
I
you,
could
and
never-
I don't know if that makes
I
me a
could
bad
never
person.
have that experience for the first time again.
Right.
It's like the craziest thing.
Yeah, I remember the first couple of times I had sex were like with girls I was like actually dating, but I remember the first time that I like
Right.
drunkenly fucked some random fucking girl at a party and just was
like-
disgusted with
Cool
myself
for
after.
the time it happens and then it's over and you're like,
That was horrible. Why did they do? Yeah.
I ate a girl out and like
Me too,
it was,
one
like,
time.
my first time eating out and having sex.
oh.
And her vagina smelled really, really bad.
It
So
seems
I
like
thought
that's always the
just
case.
what
Get
it
right in
was.
that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and then I'd like right after I went like to the bathroom and washed my face for like an hour and like looked in the mirror.
Did you have a beard then?
I did. Yeah, I was 15.
Nice.
Teen Beard Man.
Can I say I remember the first time I ate a girl out? It was on a playground, and
Holy shit, dude.
yeah.
Wait, how old was the girl?
I think we were both 16.
Yeah, seriously. Is there an age? Like, do you have to click a button on YouTube to watch this?
No, but seriously, sir, you should have seen this 8-year-old. No, I think we were both 16, and I just remember that. Yeah, like I had the same reaction. Like, holy fuck, that's the worst smell in the world. I don't know why dudes talk about this or whatever. And then I remember I worked at the grocery store down the street from my house, and I was walking through like the Mexican aisle that had all like the Goya food and shit, and it smelled mad disgusting, and it kind of smelled like
Smells
rotten
like asshole
fish.
and pussy. Yeah.
Yes, and I walked through that aisle, and I felt the vomit rising up in my throat, like I'm gonna puke because this reminds me of the gross vagina that I smelled last night.
Oh man.
Yep.
You ever have that? You ever have an encounter with a gross vagina?
No, man. All vaginas are beautiful and delicious.
Not true, but I mean,
I'm gonna disagree with.
yeah, we're gonna totally.
they all are.
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
care.
fucked up cunts out there, bro.
Nah, they're all beautiful flowers.
See, this is you appealing to like the fans who want to like.
Right.
Not
Hey, ladies. I like them all.
What role does weed play in your life?
I don't know. I like weed a lot.
When did you fall in love with it?
Like, as soon as I moved to California and it was like accessible all the time.
So you smoked weed before that and just not that much?
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to stop.
Why? Do you think it fucks up your creativity a little bit?
Yeah, it fucks that up. Fucks up my motivation. I can't sleep.
It makes it so you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I'm I'm thinking about crazy shit.
See, I think all the time about quitting.
Me too.
Slowing down.
And then I don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's physically possible for me, man. It's just
No, yeah, there's no way.
I mean, not for quite some time, man. I'm gonna get really bad.
I feel like I've slowed down a lot, and I'm kind of proud of that. I'm on like 1 or 2 blunts a day, whereas it used to be like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've slowed down my dabs too, I think.
Yeah.
But but then I'll have bad days, especially after my fucking back injury. Just fucking dab for days and just sit in a fucking crib and fucking losing my mind.
Are you pro or anti-dab?
I like dabs. They're cool.
Do you have the rig at your house, or you just do it when you're like hanging out with somebody like him?
I do the knife hits, but yeah, Alex lets me hit the rig when I'm
Yeah.
with the boys.
It's a big incentive to go hang out with Alex. I'm
It
always
is.
like, Brandon,
He's always down to
you want to
dab
go
you
to
out.
Ain't Nobody Cool Warehouse? He's like,
Alex is
I'm
always
like,
down
they
to
got
make you
dabs. He's
really
like, oh shit,
high.
all right.
I like the dab.
Yeah, dabs are tight if you know what you're doing. If you're not like a little hoe,
So do you remember when Puya hit you up to go on tour? What was that like?
it's really cool, really humbling.
Really?
Yeah, I like. He's a really cool guy.
So you're already a fan of him because of the fact that he heard about you, or he found out about you because he was the background music in one of your vines for
Right.
some reason. So
Right.
do you remember when you first started listening to him?
Yeah, it was like around the time Southside Slugs first came out, and my roommate Tanner Getter was just playing it like on loop for like a week in his car. And it was really tight, and I don't know, Puya just has like a really unique kind of style.
He's
and
dope.
I like it.
What was it like going on tour with rappers for the first time? Was there anything that surprised you?
Yeah,
Like what?
everything.
Like what? Okay, number
They
one,
never
the girls.
sleep.
Really?
There's
They don't
girls
sleep?
everywhere.
How do they do that much lean and they don't sleep?
I don't know. I mean, Puya slept. Puya's like,
Pretty drug free.
yeah, he's a good egg.
Yeah.
But all the like everyone else could just stay up forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Who else was on this tour? Rob Banks.
Rob Banks, super funny.
Really? He was funny. You included him in a Vine I saw. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he's so funny.
That shit was
He's the
funny.
coolest dude ever. Rob Banks, Fat Nick's awesome. Everyone was like super sick. Germ. They're just like, I honestly felt like I was like at summer camp with like by the end of it, you're like kind of like brothers almost because it's like we all were in the same shit for the fucking same whatever. I don't know. It was cool.
And
Like
you
all
were-
bonded. Through
Yeah,
Right.
he was
So
showing them up with the
trials and
pussy. He was
tribulations.
making Puya feel
I
like he
don't
was
know,
never
man.
going to get any buns.
I think Puya definitely casts a pretty mean shadow on me. I think they were just trying to hype me up.
Right. That is nice of them to do that, though. I would
Right.
appreciate it if they would do that about me. Man, Adam 22 gets so many hoes.
I know,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
right?
I'd love that if Puya said that in an interview.
Puya
So
was
Puya, keep that in
definitely
mind.
slaying out of control.
Yeah. When he came through here, though, he had a girl with him, and he was just nonstop talking about like, any girl that fucks with me is a fucking idiot. And I just kept looking back at her like, I wonder how you feel about this.
That makes him watch you more, though.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
right. He knows what he's doing.
I don't know, though, because he's tweeting about her still.
He's half Persian and half Cuban,
Right.
so he's got this crazy like chest hair, and like
Did you-
girls are just addicted to him.
Did you encounter any rap beef while you were on tour?
No, I don't think so.
No kind of problems or anything?
Everyone was like pretty cool, and
Yeah, they don't attract the negativity, huh?
No, they
Any
really
fights
don't.
at any of the shows? Anything like really stood out to you?
some girl like punched another girl, and I was like,
That's
okay.
always tight.
I love that.
like when
I hate
broads
that.
fight
It
each
really
other.
makes me sad.
To see a girl fight a girl
Yeah,
in
I
real
hate-
life, I don't want to watch the video of it. To be honest, like when I see on World Star like girl fight, I don't click on that.
Usually not that good.
Yeah, nothing happens. They're
Right.
too weak to hurt each other. It's like seeing 6-year-olds fight.
I've seen some funny ones on Twitter recently. I'm checking these broads' Twitters in Atlanta, and they're all fucking beating
wanna
each
go to
other up on
Atlanta.
the street.
He's so deep into the internet, dude. He knows about
is.
so many weird
He
things.
puts me on to some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I like music from Atlanta.
Dude, can we go on like a trip to Atlanta, all
Young
of us?
Thug. Me and him are
I'm
the
down.
Young Thug's biggest fans.
Oh, I'm Yeah.
I'm the biggest Young Thug
How
fan.
tight is the fucking Young Thug
I
Ham
listen to
show gonna
halftime
be?
every day.
Yeah, isn't it insane that Adam announced the Ham show like months in advance? He never does that. They're
Yeah.
gonna do it at a crazy
Young
venue or
Thug's gonna
something.
be there?
Yeah, October something or other.
13th,
He's
I
doing
think.
it with fucking Golden Voice.
You better get your fucking tickets now because we're good.
It's gonna go
but it's
down.
gonna sell out real fast no
Yeah,
matter
I
where
think
they do
so.
it.
I think
Oh
so.
fuck, that's crazy.
Why would you describe that you love Young Thug so much?
He's just so cool and like just something new.
Creative,
He's
fucking
really
singing on the
just
track. You never know
lucid.
what to expect.
Right, you never. It's awesome. He's like punk rap.
Yeah.
When I first heard him, I thought I should not like this. This is like a little black girl music. Like what the fuck? But I just kept playing it. That
Just-
Pikachu and man, so many goddamn songs
It
on fucking
really is
10,
like
17
it's
Thug.
almost
He's just so good at
hypnotizing
rapping.
the way he like comes up with these crazy vocal melodies over the already like I don't know. It's
And
just
he ain't
like,
got to say words. Like when he starts mumbling and
that's
shit.
what I
so
like the most is when you don't
doesn't
understand.
try.
Right, exactly. You know,
So many rappers like find a flow, stick to the flow for the whole song. He will do a flow for the first like 4 bars, and then it'll just be he'll just start dancing all over it. It almost makes every other rapper feel kind of boring in comparison.
That's why I like it. He's
Yeah.
like juggling. It's
Yeah.
like watching a magic show. But
he's literally the best rapper on planet Earth.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I'm with
In
you.
my mind. No doubt about it.
Anybody who fucks with who doesn't like Young Thug can suck it.
yeah.
My favorite Nick Colletti Vine is the cigarette and beer one, where you're like, I found this this half a cigarette and this beer. Can you just give me a little look into the creative process behind something like that? Like, do you think you just had like a little nugget of an idea?
Yeah, it's like that's pretty influenced by like my family. Like we always had these get-togethers and try to get fucked up. I don't know.
You really been get fucked up with your parents since a young age?
No, not my parents. Like me and my cousins are like, we used to like steal like vodka and like just get high at the Christmas and shit.
See, I wish that I like even knew enough to like steal a beer when I was younger. It never
Yeah.
even like occurred to
We
me.
were bad. We're bad. Like
Yeah.
my family, like
Do you
we're
have
good, but we're bad.
Let me ask you this: do you come up with a lot of like Vine ideas that you like record it, give it a shot, and then you immediately are just like, no, this is garbage. Like I'm not putting this out. Do you put them out as soon as you record them?
Usually,
Yeah.
I kind of just do it, and then I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then
You don't
I'm
have like a shit ton of drafts.
Uh-uh.
No?
Do you
much
delete
just
ones
keep
that
'em on.
perform poorly?
sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes I get mad.
Do you have any like? Do you ever blame it on your fans, or do you just
No.
no?
Everyone's pretty like. I love everyone. Like everyone's really supportive and shit. Some people just don't get it, but I mean, whatever.
Do you know what your most popular Vine is?
I think it's the hot dog with the dick one, with chopping it off in the fan or whatever.
Really? Wait, so I don't even know about this one. What happens?
It's some fucking shit, man.
Oh, so what, it like looks like it's your
Like
dick?
the one that I blew up from.
Oh, okay. So what?
Yeah,
Like
it's a hot dog that looks like my dick, and I'm like, when Bay doesn't text you back, and then I stick it in the fan. It's the dumbest fucking thing in the whole world. It's so stupid.
wait, like was this like super early on?
Yeah.
So wait, do you feel embarrassed about this from like a comedian perspective? I was in like, this is a lame joke.
And now I do, but at the time I was probably like, this is groundbreaking comedy. But like looking back, I'm like, what the fuck?
But okay, so the weird thing about you being a Vine comedian or whatever is that you didn't go through the normal like ropes to get noticed as a Vine dude. Like you should be on Sunset or you should be at a fucking comedy club every night trying to earn your chops or whatever. Like,
Right.
do you not relate to that? Do you not aspire to that even a little bit?
No, even like how to begin to get into that world. So I guess it's like, I don't know.
Have you ever
kind of did it?
Have you really like done like stand up or no?
No, I'm honestly really nervous to perform in front of people.
I was gonna say, do you think like there's gonna be more pressure on you, and actual comedians,
Right.
stand-up comedians
Right.
are gonna be like, oh, this fucking guy, a Vine guy, well, make it way
Right.
harder on you and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Fuck them. Fuck the.
you know what I'm saying? Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck the
I
people
would
that
think
don't-
about that. I would be like, fuck.
The
these
fact that
fucking
they've
dick
been
faces
working
are gonna be
yeah,
dick faces.
They've
you
been
know?
working their whole lives to be good at something, and the fact that you were able to get well known from doing something without having to go through that grind is just like, ha ha, you fucking idiots.
Yeah,
You've been hanging
I
out at
agree.
this club
Fully.
all night every
I'm
night.
not
your whole life.
dissing the grind. I respect like everyone who's working hard to become what they want to become. I guess I was just like blessed to get into this thing when it was still, a thing. But,
What about like doing stand up at those Puya shows? What was that like? Because
Oh
it's
my
totally improv, right?
yeah, that shit was funny. But I tried to do a couple jokes. I'd like feel it, but everyone was there for a rap show.
Right.
They weren't there to see Nick Colletti like fucking tell jokes to them.
The
So
one-
I would just like be kind of light and then be like, all right, let's get on with the music.
The one little vine that I saw of you was just you doing like a funny little dance to this beat.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was just like, that's what he's doing
would
on
do
tour.
it.
That's
I was
awesome.
dabbing
I used to
to
dance a
halftime,
lot.
right?
Yes,
That
yeah.
was a good one.
The
Yeah.
dancing was real fun.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like a funky white guy.
That's how you feel? Do you feel like you're different than other white people?
I think I am. I just have like a naturally good rhythm, and other white people like are like, yeah.
You've professed on the Gangsta Boo podcast most notably to being a fan of black women.
I am.
Has that actually
I'm
like
a fan of all women. Just-
yeah, same. But has that panned out for you? Have you had a lot of black fans or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I have all kinds of fans. Black fans, white fans, whatever fans.
Have you noticed any like distinct differences in having sex with white women versus black women?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Just gotta like kiss them and shit. They all love that.
Do
All
they
women
smell
like to be
different?
kissed
They
and
do.
stuff.
I've
Like-
never fucked a black broad. I
Really?
always assumed that they would,
I had a really sus
almost
moment.
fucked an Asian broad, but she just
Almost.
smelled.
You gotta get. You guys. Are,
I
you
couldn't
guys
do
ain't
it,
living
man.
enough.
Just
You're that racist that you wouldn't have sex with an Asian woman?
it just she was in my bed. It was going that way, and I was just like, I don't know. There was just a funk that, like,
The
Well,
funk.
don't blame that on her Asianness.
it was kind of an Asian funk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool band name.
Yeah, right.
Asian. No, because I remember one time, like the first time I ever had sex with a black girl, I called my friend Day Day, who was also black, and I was just like, this was back in Brooklyn, like 7 years ago, and I was just like, bro, I had sex with a black girl last night, my bed smells like you do, dude. And I was being totally real, like, there's a certain scent, a certain, like, you know.
That's what I was getting at. That's
Yeah.
what
I mean, it's
You know,
not-
white-
this is-
it's just
the
like
older
our
I get, the more
cultures.
white I smell. I know I smell more like a
Right.
pet shop or like
Right.
a cat's bed
Or
and shit,
books.
you know, like
Hot dog
books.
water.
My
Yeah.
grandma smells like books.
It happens. I'll
Old
come
white
home. I'll be
people
like, "What
smell
kind
like
of
a
white people
library.
have been in my house
Black
all day?"
people
It's
smell
been
better
me.
than white people. They
Would you
smell
say
like
that?
love and warmth.
It's definitely a different odor.
Like
I don't know
all my
what it-
black
yeah.
friends just smell like home.
Home.
White people just sound like not sound. They smell. I don't know. They smell like crackers and like Triscuits.
See that's I remember being like 13 and going to like the Indian girl who lived in my neighborhood's house.
Yeah.
And for
oh,
the
I
first
love my
time,
Indians' friends' houses.
right. I mean, for the first time because I had never eaten Indian food. I didn't fucking know about
Yeah.
that. I go over and it's this insane smell. Yeah, like
It's
I
whatever.
lived in a neighborhood that had a whole shit ton of Patels. Have you ever heard of that?
What's that?
See, when I first moved into, same reaction. I moved in, and there were 2 Patels in my class, and I was like, "Oh, you guys
okay,
brothers
it's a
and
name,
sisters?"
right, okay.
And everyone looked at me dying, like, "Brothers and sisters, haven't you ever heard of Patels?" I'm like, "Nah." And then open the phone book. There's a million Patels. So yeah, needless to say, there was a bunch of Indians, and a lot of them made a lot of curry.
Yeah.
And when there's a lot of houses of a lot of
Curry's so
people that
yummy.
eat a lot of curry, it's you can smell it when you walk outside.
This
walk
girl,
down the block.
I remember her name, Faria Muhammad, but she like had a trampoline in her backyard. So like I probably never would have hung out with her otherwise, but she, like literally every day after school, and she was on the walk home.
Especially back in those days, the tramp. Wow,
We're talking 1997. The trampoline is like the internet at the time, you know, like oh we could jump up and down and like talk while we're on it or something and yell and be funny. Yeah, that was
to God.
Faria Muhammad was running the neighborhood with her trampoline, and I just remember going over and being like really confused, like what the fuck is this smell? And they're like, I think I mentioned it to my mom, and my mom had to give me like her like weird white person version of it, of being like. Every different type of person eats different type of food, and
Right.
like what you're smelling is probably just what her parents cook with.
that
And
was
then-
exactly yeah.
And then I
yeah.
understood. And then I was not a horrible racist anymore.
Yeah.
Let me see what we got here.
Yeah, different people, man.
No, but do you think it is
Different people,
Is a white guy
smells.
racist if he doesn't want to have sex with Asian girls?
No, I honestly.
What is
or
the
if you-
definition
actually,
of being
yeah,
racist?
I
If he
honestly do
chooses to
believe
not
that.
have sex with her because he doesn't like.
I wouldn't say racist as just like, what if you're potentially missing out on someone who could be your true love?
Right. It's almost like a
because
sad
of
thing
if
on your
your
part. Right.
ignorance,
Yeah.
right.
I could see you if you say I don't generally like that race when attracted to them. But if you're just like, no, there's no way I would ever fuck
Right.
one of those broads, then that's fucking right. Because then it's like, how do you know? Like you said, you might meet a broad, and, you don't know what's going to attract you about a broad, and
Right,
you're like,
that's
oh
why
shit, man,
I
I'm
don't
not
have
thought
it.
of
I
it.
don't
blonde,
care.
so that's like a preference.
Right.
Right.
I have a friend who like we brought this up. He was like, I would never fuck an Asian girl. Like I'm just not into it. And I was like, that's racist. And he said, some people like pit bulls and some people like poodles. And I was like, damn, that's a pretty compelling argument.
always good to compare
But again,
humans to
I could
animals.
see if he would
Right.
say, most likely, no, I'm not into Asian broads.
Right.
Sure. But to be like, never, I would never, then it's like, that's more of like a logical decision saying I will never be attracted to, you know, and then I would assume would be racism. Who knows? Who knows what's deep down in the human being's brain? But
Any of you guys ever use Tinder? You have Tinder?
I did have Tinder.
Back home? Deleted it before you got here? Okay. I think Tinder clues you into a lot of your like racial preferences because you're really making these like split-second decisions when you're looking at it, like left or right swipe. And I think that there was like a certain point in my Tinder using career, which has since ended, JK, but where I like sort of realized like, damn, like I give white, Asian maybe as well girls like a serious preference. Like I feel like I swipe so much more liberally without even thinking about it, and then that kind of made me feel sort of dirty about myself. Like damn, like
it makes sense to me. I've always liked, you know, Spanish broads more than anything else and shit, you know. But then, or when I was a shorty, I really wasn't into Asian broads. But then, like maybe a year or two ago, I just randomly see some. Oh man, I think I would fuck that, but you know. And so like, shit changes.
Look at the eyes and the smile.
What was your girlfriend like?
Cool.
Cool. Well, what flavor was she?
Just like funky.
Funky.
Yeah, like funky.
African American.
No, she's white.
Okay, well that's fine. That'll make our white power viewers happier.
Right.
White power reviewers.
White power viewers. Do we have those?
Viewers.
I don't know.
That's like the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers. The white power viewers. No.
White Power Rangers. That's Serp, there's a shirt for you right
Already
there.
did.
Bam, bam.
You did
bam.
that?
Really?
It's too crazy though. I can't.
Dude, Serp has tons of like racially charged like designs that he's come up with that have never seen the light of day, right?
They're in the
I
Frankenstein.
have a whole
bin.
nother brand of just racist
What, like
flips.
racist parodies? Like
I think it should be called, the brand should be called Racist Flips.
racist flips.
That's
I don't know if the world's
And
ready
it's a
for that.
Filipino guy. No.
There's totally a market for that, like edgy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Edgy teenagers are like
Cool hipster racist. Like
love racism. This
not
shit,
just a regular racist. You're like a cool
I'm into,
racist.
like
yeah.
obscure racist.
This is the brand for you.
yeah, avant-garde.
That'd be a
racist.
good rap name. Obscure racist. No.
Any of you guys ever listen to like racist bands back in the day?
I never listened to any bands in my entire life.
I had a friend who like was like, "Yo, there's a band called Screwdriver. Like, you got to check them out." And I like listened to a couple albums and was like, "All right, like they're like the one racist band that like people who are not racist will be like, Screwdriver was tight."
Like the music was good, but
was just
they were also
kinda-
just being like, "Fuck."
But like under it, there was just like thick malaise.
But that was the thing about it, was that like the racism in Screwdriver was like more like deeply like layered and hidden.
So
it was
tight.
more like nationalist like sentiment, where it wasn't like like I don't know if I ever heard
pride, bro. It's some
I never
racism.
knew if I heard a Screwdriver song that used the N word or like specifically referenced the Holocaust or anything. They were a little bit more tasteful about it, but at the same time, I remember being like 17 and listening to them and being like, sort of having the same feeling that I had when I was listening to like Eazy-E when I was in like 6th grade, where I was like, "Yo, this is so fucked up," that I'm like listening.
Alluring.
I think a lot.
I think that shit's cool because it like makes you mad.
Exactly.
Like I listen to it, and I'm like, I'm mad. Like it makes you feel shit.
Yeah, it makes you feel shit.
Right, but like I grew up loving Earth Crisis, and I never been vegan. Well, I was vegetarian for a while, but I was, not specifically vegan. Or I would listen to like a Black Power rap group, like Gladly, who was talking shit
Dead
about
Prez.
Whitey or whatever. Yeah, I love Dead Prez, love NWA, I love all these bands that have like specifically
fuck white people, no.
kind of said negative things about white people, and like that doesn't bother me. So like hearing Screwdriver kind of say negative things about black people in general didn't really ever strike me as like, oh, this is so fucked up. It's just sort of like when you listen to music, you're not necessarily like agreeing with the political viewpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a racist band I like called Ace of Base. Seriously. Like,
Wait,
they
what?
were Nazis.
What was it? What did he come out and
Dude that
say?
made the beats. And like, yeah, like all the shit. Like he was in a straight up Nazi band, like
Right.
prior.
This
and
was
he was
on
like, you know
mine a
what?
couple
This
years
Nazi
ago.
stuff isn't making me as much money as I could get. He's like, I'm gonna get these two bitches on the fucking songs.
The same drum pattern.
Yo, if you listen to like the music, like a lot of the intros, that shit's super evil, like
Right.
super dark, and very tight. So that's I fuck with Ace.
So we should
Damn, I
revisit the
never
Ace of
knew
Base
that.
catalog.
That's
yes,
crazy.
in a different.
I saw the sign was about the swastika. I saw the sign and I immediately knew what to
I
base my
never-
entire
I
life
never-
around.
Very
I didn't
symmetrical.
even think of that.
Can we talk about? Have you ever had your like? This is a problem for a lot of people who make online video. You have your shit like stolen all the time. It
Oh,
just
yeah.
ends up on weird Twitters and Instagrams and everything.
I don't care.
You just don't care.
Whatever.
How do you feel about like the whole Fat Juice scandal that's been going down? You know him?
No.
You don't know him? Do you feel any particular way about his stealing of ideas or jokes?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking lame. I mean, I
I
understand.
think he sucks.
Yeah, he might have posted up something that Serp might have made.
Serp, you have this happen to you all the time because you're a graphic design visionary.
Did he really post them?
Yeah, he posted.
And you know what he did when asked for credit?
Deleted it.
Deleted the fucking
That's
thing
what-
and
so
said,
many people have that
I don't
story.
give credit. I don't give
Yeah,
credit.
like I
Fuck
knew
you.
someone
said
that
that.
knows him.
He didn't say fuck you, but I don't.
He said,
give
I don't give
He
credit.
didn't respond to us, but I knew someone that knew him, and they hit him up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't give credit to people," and then he just deleted the shit. So I don't know. I mean, that guy's whatever. Honestly, I'm not gonna talk shit about him. Like I've seen him do interviews, and he's funny.
Don't know him about as a person,
Yeah, I don't-
you know,
right.
but that action
That was my
right there,
only.
yeah,
that was my only interaction.
that's
So.
not a tight action.
Crazy
but
shit has
he
been
could be
happening
the
with him.
nicest guy ever. You know?
But because, all right, like on one hand, he has been very, very flagrant in the fact that he's gotten huge and he has never given credit, and he's sort of shown like almost like an open like disdain for the creators that he's stealing with, which is I think why he's being attacked so maliciously.
Makes
You know, Fuck Jerry deserves this shit just as much as him, but nobody's been hitting him as hard, and I think it's because he's sort of displayed like a more like outwardly anti-creative mentality with that. I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and he was like, "I'm a comedian. I know a shitload of comedy. I know when I see a funny person and I don't see a funny person." And he said, "It's like I've seen like an interview with Fat Jew, and he doesn't seem like a funny person to me. He doesn't seem like a comedian. He just sort of seems like this dumbass that's good at stealing memes or whatever."
I mean, if at first, if he was just, you know, I could understand, oh, you're just posting shit on the internet, and then it slowly starts popping off, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna ride this, you know, I could somewhat understand that. But then when it gets to the point where you're making a bunch of money and
Exactly.
you refuse to fucking, you know, then it's kind of shitty. You
Yeah,
know?
and
But
I make stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
He
Like, I don't
actually
just-
makes the shit, which
yeah,
is
I make
weird.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then I make a lot of stuff that doesn't go as far as I feel like maybe it should. And then, you know, you've got other people that just curate content or whatever, and like they're making tons of money off of it. And I mean, that's cool. I guess you figured out how to do that. It's like, in one regard, I think it's, you know, I can respect it. And then in the other regard, I'm just like, fuck you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I make this shit and I don't get hardly anything out of it.
The weird thing about the meme game having such loose rules and stuff too, though, is that if Fuck Jerry or Fat Jew sees some dope ass piece that you've made, it's kind of like, how are they even to know that you were the original creator?
Well,
Because
and that's part of
everybody's
making
jacking
it.
shit on.
Right, like
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like that's on me is like if I'm making something,
then I have to be okay with, like, if I'm putting it on the internet, fucking people are going to post it and I'm not going to really get credit, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I'm, like, watermarking shit, but that's...
and that's lame.
That's
Yeah.
lame.
It's just weird because like we all take part in it to a certain extent because like any of us would probably see a funny meme and repost it.
Right.
But he's like took it to the maximum level. But I think it's good because we're gonna have like we already are having, I guess, like a whole debate within our culture in terms of the rules of the meme game. Because it's like it's more laid out. Like I run a blog, it's like very clearly laid out. Like I can embed anybody's video, but I gotta link back to them, or I gotta, you know, like even just embedding their video is kind of enough because it's like, oh, it's your YouTube player.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody else does an interview, I can quote from the interview, but I can't put the entire interview. I just have to like pull like little pieces of it, like maybe there's 10 or 20% of it or whatever. And it's like it's a strange world we live in where we're still trying to figure out the rules of the
very
meme game.
Yeah.
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 I just don't do memes anymore.
You don't repost,
I just don't look at them. I don't have anything to do with them anymore.
right?
Yeah, they suck.
Fuck a meme. I post memes on my Instagram. So
memers.
I can't hate too much.
Really?
some memes are funny.
Yeah.
I especially like the ones that people post on Instagram when they don't know how to post on Instagram, and you like see half of the fucking word, and
Oh
it
my
just
God,
it doesn't make
right?
any sense, and
I
you're
like
just like,
deep
you're
fried
the
memes.
best.
What's
Yeah,
that mean?
Deep
Deep
fried.
fried memes.
What's that?
It's the ones that are like they've been
quality.
screenshotted
Oh,
so
yeah,
many
yeah,
times
yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah,
quality
yeah.
is
It's always on like
depleted.
Cameron's Instagram.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand how that happens because it's like every single time I've ever seen a meme and screen captured it and put it back up, it's like it literally loses no quality.
Well, they
Right.
they put
When-
refilter.
They
it.
filter it,
Yeah.
yeah, like heavy. Like, oh man, like this is tight, but I got to put like a fucking
I gotta filter
a
the
vexel
filter
on it or something. Yeah.
I had a serious like, oh, you're a fucking old man moment when I was listening to Joe Rogan talk about Fat Jew because Joe Rogan's like, if I want to share a video on Instagram, I'll use a repost app, and I'm like, damn, you're like fully admitting to be like a repost app guy because that is like the grossest thing you can do on Instagram is
that's
use
gross.
a fucking repost app.
I kind of like
It sucks that giving credit to people like ruins things.
Yeah,
It does.
exactly.
That's why I don't fucking.
We can
credit.
all kind of agree, yeah, that the aura of like Fat Jew or Fuck Jerry is kind of ruined when there's like an at below and you realize like this is coming from a place. It sort of fucks with the vibe. I can see why he was hating on people for wanting credit.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
that's
too.
it's that's what I'm saying. It's a weird situation.
But I'm glad that the conversation is you know.
It's good.
Yeah.
A cultural conversation is definitely the right path for anything.
True.
Vilifying Nick's Vine fame is next, yeah.
I got to run outside and give my keys to.
All right, see you in a sec. Let me see what my next question is here. Do you ever think of like a particularly weird concept for a Vine and then have to like rein yourself in and be like, shit, nobody else is going to think this is funny. This is just my... Because this is the whole thing, is that like your sense of humor is obviously like so nuanced and so weird because you're hanging out with your friends and stuff. Is it then weird to like translate that into something that's like a Vine or a Twitter, which it sort of has to be relatable or has to be mainstream in order for people to like it?
Yeah, like the sense of humor like that my family has, like, because I was just born into like a funny family. That's just why I'm funny. Like my parents, like
They're both like that.
Yeah, I have a lot of cousins. We all just rip on each other all the time. So it's like kind of like dog eat dog. Everyone's trying to like out funny.
Really?
The
Okay.
other
So you grew
person.
up in like a great environment to become funny.
Right, and anything went, like anything goes. We make fun of like our dead relatives. Like
Really?
like I'll be like, hey, when's Nanny coming, guys? And like everyone will be outside in our family, and they're like, what the fuck? And then everyone laughs because
That's pretty tight.
It's literally
kinda like my family.
anything goes. So like it's every day you can just hone your like, what's gonna make this person laugh? Like,
Right.
So like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the shit that I find funny that I think would make like someone that gets me funny or would make them laugh is like not necessarily what the general public thinks
Right.
is funny. Like stupid shit, like repeating words like in fucked up ways is like hilarious to me. But if I did that on Vine, people would be like,
Wait, give me an example of repeating words.
I don't know. I honestly have to be in a certain mood to like to be the way like
Right.
I don't know. But it's crazy, honestly. Like I don't know.
See,
That brings me to this question. Do you feel like being out here around different people is kind of fucking up your shit
Yes.
as far as
Yes.
getting your fucking
How
comedy?
so? What
Because
do you
when
mean?
you're around your family, that's when you get in your fucking rhythm, and you do
Yeah.
that every fucking day,
You're
and that's
so
where you come up
comfortable.
with, and then you come out here and you got to, fucking LA, and
Because
you know.
no one grills me out here except for like the kids I hang out with that are from Pittsburgh, but like everyone else is just like I don't know.
they don't give
Your
you a hard
family,
time.
like yeah, they fucking they're
Makes
like,
sense.
Anything that I try to do that I think is cool to my family, they're just like, no, fuck you, stop.
The harshest critics you could ever
Right,
ask
it's
for.
great.
That's tight,
It's-
though.
it's
Yeah,
the best.
absolutely.
Like it's so awesome, but
That is the...
too many people say yes to me now, so it's like not fun anymore.
Yeah. See, I had a weird situation the other day where I posted a link to... Did you hear about this guy who he's like a Christian like family vlogger? He like makes a YouTube video every single day.
Sounds like the man.
Yeah, the man. Talking about his family and his wife and his kids and everything like that. And basically it came like they make a video every single day, and then one video was like, we're having a baby. Like I surprised my wife. He like took like a pee sample from her and like put it on the fucking the birth test to see if she was pregnant.
what a freak.
So he
That's
literally has like a video of him filming himself taking the thing and dipping it in her pee,
How
which
did
is
you get her pee?
he went in the toilet.
She didn't flush?
Apparently not. Isn't that fucking weird? Like, what do you have a
Maybe he
conversation with her
disabled
beforehand?
the toilet.
Yeah, you have a conversation beforehand.
Try
Like, I don't think we should flush anniore.
How's he get fecal
Don't
sample?
flush when you go.
You don't need a fecal sample to find out if your wife's pregnant.
Oh, you don't?
I don't think so. That would be there'd probably be a lot less people using it if you had to. But anyway, so basically, he makes a video. He's like, "We're pregnant. We're having a kid." Boom. 2 days later, she's got a miscarriage.
Oh fuck.
So then they have to make like another video, and this is the weird thing is that
Wait, why?
what they had to make another video because he literally makes a video every day. So this is like a rule is that like you have to like they have to do this as a family, which is to me this is a bizarre position to put yourself in.
Yeah, what kind of red like code do you live by that you have?
Right, because-
YouTube is your fucking.
Are you really expecting to have a good day every day? Because I guarantee, like, I have days where there's no, like, I can fake it. I can say a funny tweet or I can put something on Facebook or whatever, but I'm definitely not in the position to sit in front of a camera and fucking talk.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That kind of stresses me out about this podcast. Sometimes it's like, damn, I got to do it Thursday and I might be in a bad mood Thursday or
Right,
whatever.
That's what yeah.
And it doesn't really
like
get to
every
me.
day.
But either way, like, so she has a
fucked up that you're
miscarriage.
saying that 'cause I think about that all the fucking time.
Right.
I've never like actually said it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We're helping Nicola here, I think. But either way, like,
Yeah. This is really breakthrough.
It's like
he, like,
therapy.
It's like therapy. I agree.
so it all comes out that like she has a miscarriage and they start talking about it on TV and stuff, and then I don't know where was I going with this.
Well, she peed in the toilet and he got it.
He sampled it with a thing.
Right. Then he posted the video.
Yeah, and then it was like,
Hulu.
that is just such a crazy position to be in because it's like I'm online.
That guy's an ass.
Yeah.
He signs
He's a
himself
dick.
up for like a
Yeah.
fucking science experiment, so you have to see what happens every single day in his stupid fucking life. So he had a post up when he had a miscarriage, and was he fucking crying? And then
Yes,
said, like,
they were
Jesus
like freaking out, and crying
Jesus
and stuff.
hates me.
But all right, so then you want to know the really fucked up part? Have you guys heard about
Kind of
that?
like artistic though in a way,
Yeah, but
but he's not doing that
The
intentionally.
weird thing though is that he went viral with the pregnancy video and then extra viral with the miscarriage video.
The
Like,
miscarriage
Sure.
did better.
I
than
was looking at their
probably.
shit and it's all like 30, 40,000 views on all these videos, and then boom, pregnancy, 7 million views. Boom, miscarriage, 10 million views.
Oh, man.
That's how it
And
works.
they got so many fans from it. It's weird to me because I'm thinking from their perspective, like if it was me, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, yeah, we lost our kid, but we got like 100,000 subscribers. It's worth it.
I think so. Me too. I mean, real life. That's and the fucked up thing is that's probably what it really
You know
is.
that
You
he's
know
thinking
why the
that,
fuck
yeah.
not? That's real shit.
It's like
That's
when
a lot
this
of
day and
fucking
age,
money.
that's a hustle.
And I'm sorry,
Get
but
your
a miscarriage
money.
is not that fucking big a deal. You could just try again.
Well, it was like a
I
day
agree.
later, right? I mean, like she was only pregnant for like a day.
He's probably coming in her right now trying to get round 2 popping.
I mean,
I hope so.
I just remembered the only reason why I
I'm
told
big
the
on
story.
abortion, so let them
Yeah,
go.
I'm big on abortion as well. But the only reason I told the story is because I posted literally a link to the thing about the miscarriage thing from like Gawker or whatever on Facebook, and my caption was just relationship goals, which I thought was really fucking funny. My sister, who has a kid and already has a kid on the way and has dealt with her own issues in terms of having kids and stuff, she hits me up. She says, that's not funny. I'm like, listen, just because something has happened to you doesn't mean that it's not funny.
Right.
You know?
To her, it's not funny.
And I get that. But at the same time, it's like you're not allowed to exclude your family members from jokes. I was like, we know a lot of people who have died from cancer. A cancer joke can still be funny. I'm sorry, but it's still
Every
everything
single
can be
joke
funny.
can be funny, and the thing about jokes is
funny.
that things are fucked up, and you have to joke about things
Acknowledge
to
it, yeah.
not
Yeah, I
freak the
feel
fuck
like
out.
a lot of comedians are dealing with like a lot of shit, and they get into comedy and laughs to like deal with that shit.
Not
You know
blow
what
their
I'm saying?
brains out.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way at all? Like you kind of like work through some of your issues through comedy?
Yeah,
How so?
and just being like a crazy person.
Do you think you're crazy?
Oh yeah,
Have you ever been to a therapist or anything?
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
About what?
fucking tons of shit. Ever since I was a little
I
kid.
keep hearing him vaping,
sorry.
and
Right.
and for a second I think that somebody's like really snorting coke loudly in the background, which would not be so out
This
of
is
out
Coke, actually. So.
of. It's a coke vape.
Coke vape.
How do you feel about
That's
vaping? You
gonna
ever
be
vape?
some shit.
I've tried it. It just hurts my lungs.
It hurts your lungs. Backwoods don't hurt your lungs, but vapes do.
Nah, I mean,
Their vapes are different, man. I just started this shit, and it like, at first it was killing me. And I've been smoking cigarettes for like 15 years, and I was like, what the fuck? But then I had to get all nerdy and like learn about it and watch YouTube videos.
yeah,
and,
my roommate's big into vaping. They're
Oh,
like
okay.
all of
Are you off the cigs because of the vapes?
yeah, I'm bummed about this. I think this sucks, but I'm off the cigs.
Well, that's
the cigs
good.
are killing me. So
Do you think that the vape is better for you than the cigs?
I think so. There's like different studies saying
Is there
that.
less smoke?
It's. I mean, it's not smoke.
You don't have a mic. I hate telling people that like, you can't be in this conversation. Yeah, is there less smoke? I don't know. What's healthier? What do you think?
I mean, it's vapor. It's not smoke. So it's,
not
like
as bad.
it's water moisture, I guess.
Interesting.
But I don't know. It's just there's definitely not like ammonia in it.
Yeah,
and
true.
shit like that.
The hardest part about vaping has got to be just like dealing with the fact that you then have to associate with vapors.
Yeah, I hate it. It sucks. Like the place I have to go.
I've never seen you seem so uncomfortable. We were at a fucking like a dab party where everybody's dabbing all day, and
I don't
you're
smoke
like,
weed.
And we're going tomorrow to the same place, and we're trying to get Nick Colletti to go. So we got to get
It's
him out
really
of his
fun.
shell.
It's-
I
it's
had a
our
good time, and I don't
favorite.
like parties.
Freebase
And I,
concerta,
yeah,
instead of dabbing.
shout out VMC, the fucking dudes that are doing it.
Freebase oxy in the corner.
Freebase and pills at the dab lounge.
I'm gonna freebase a chair. I'm a freebase furniture.
Freebase a fucking chunk of wood. It must be so weird for people watching this to imagine that we're just going to go to a dab party at some bar tomorrow, and that's just a normal thing that is not.
yeah.
California's the best.
Dude, they
place.
got so
Yeah.
many video
I'm
games.
still
there.
not
it's fucking
fucking-
tight. Yeah.
We just shot like fucking all kinds of African animals and just ate food and then got more baked and then shot more African animals and shit. It was
Wait, what?
fucking
We
tight.
gotta go.
The
Nick, you
video
gotta
game.
go.
Oh, at
You
the
got
video
shotgun.
game. I was like, I didn't go to
Man,
that
I'm
party.
so old afterwards. Fucking my shit was hurting from.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Cecil the Lion, which if you want to talk about current events, there's another one. You know about this?
The doctor. Or
Yeah, he's like a dentist or some shit, or a famous doctor, and he goes and kills a fucking lion.
And then what I did see was there's another dentist that has a similar name, and a bunch of people were calling him up like, "Boy, we gonna kill you for killing that lion." He's like, "Bro, it's not me. It's this other guy. You're fucking up my business."
The dentist's
Leave me
name is
alone.
Cecil the Lion?
No, the dentist's name, whatever. But then the lion, he just goes to another country. He gets like a permit. Apparently, it was all on the up and up, and he goes and just kills a fucking lion. Turns out it's a
boy.
famous lion. It's the only famous lion. Yeah, and then
I didn't even realize it was a famous lion. I just thought like people were like,
no, he's been getting hell for it, and it's super crazy though because like a lot of like podcasts I've listened to, like at least two of them, I've heard them talk about this issue and talk about how bizarre it is that people have been like coming out in defense of this fucking lion. The same people who would like never consider coming out on behalf of like a black kid that a cop shoots.
sure, yeah. That's just.
It's just this bizarre thing where it's like, yeah, it's a fucking cute animal, but people just, I think that's like proof right there. And you guys should all listen to the Sam Harris Waking Up podcast, just for the record. He's one of my favorite podcasters, but he talks a lot about how like you can't trust your own instincts because your instinct is to feel bad for the fucking lion, but it's clearly wrong. Like you should feel bad for like the people who are being slaughtered in fucking other countries and stuff.
Sure.
And like you should feel bad for people that are having drone attacks done on them. It's a fucking lion. It's one lion, and it was a big mistake. So throwing this guy under the bus, this dentist or doctor who presumably did not intend to kill a celebrity pet, throwing him in there and like acting like he's fucking Hitler is sort of weird when you consider that there are so many human beings being killed and there's much less of an uproar.
Yeah, but human beings don't give a shit about human beings.
It's weird,
I
right?
remember even being a kid and being like, man, I'll kill a human being all day, but like going fishing, I'm like, oh man, look at that fish. She's
You
fucking...
wouldn't fish?
Huh?
You wouldn't fish?
No, but I felt bad for fish when I would fucking bring them up and shit and just see them fucking choking to fucking death and shit, you know?
I just
and then
realized
I would
why
get
Ned's
drunk
over
and
here to
smash
get
them.
drunk.
But prior to that, you know what I mean? Fucking felt real bad. But human beings, you're like, it's in my instinct to smash a fucking human being, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
unfortunately, you know, it's something that, you know, some people have to try to be like, oh, wait, you know, it's not good to hurt other people and da-da-da-da-da. But we're all fucking animals, right? That's what we were doing for plenty of years is...
Did you ever try killing an animal and
Yeah.
trying to feel bad about it?
Everybody in here, you ever killed an animal? Because I haven't.
I have.
Fishing,
What'd you
when
kill?
fishing, that's what I was saying. When
Killed
fishing, I
a
didn't
rat
feel good
or a
about
mouse once.
Really?
And it's fucking traumatized me to this day, dude.
What age?
Yeah. I must have been like 12, maybe.
You ever kill an animal? You don't seem like the type. What'd you kill?
Oh my god, my story's real fucked up.
Let's hear it. Let's go, Nick.
I'll wait to hear this.
There was I went to this camp with my family, and there was, I think a mouse just had babies. So there are all these baby mice on. This story's so fucked.
Those are
I was
all these
so
baby
young
mice.
and
You ate
fucking
one?
You
and twisted
genocided
and, like,
some
hyped
mice.
up on ADHD and shit. No, there was all these baby mice, and I just got a cinder block and just dropped it all.
At what
So
age?
Fucked.
Yo, you're evil, bro.
What
I
age?
swear to God, I must have been like 11 or 10 or 11.
Did you feel awful about it immediately?
Yeah.
But that's the difference between a serial killer and a like. Everyone's killed an animal, but then a serial killer kills like a cat, and then is like, "That was so tight. I'm gonna do it again."
Yeah, I
you
felt
know what I mean?
really
I feel like, remember one of the last times we beat the shit out of somebody, and even though he fucking deserved it, like, I remember afterwards running, and because I had just, like, you know, got him in a clinch and just kneed him in the face a whole shit ton of times, and running off and being like, oh, shit, man, like, I fucked that dude up really bad, and
Right.
just feeling kind of sick after, you know what I mean, and, you know, fucking...
Yeah, I feel like if you feel some type of way after you hurt something, it's
That's good.
If you
Yeah.
if you do something fucked up and then stop, that's good. But if your first fucked up thing that you do is like a school shooting, like something you can't come back from,
Well, yeah, I mean,
then that's like
That's a different
See,
story.
okay, the other day I was reading this article online, and it was basically like some dude talking about how he used to be a member of like 4chan and how he used to like use the N-word like crazy, and he used to just offend people all the time. And like basically, and now he's like a legitimate like music critic or whatever. And he posted this article, and I just saw a bunch of different like music critics coming out and being like, "Yo, like fuck you, you're a piece of shit. You fucking did this. Nobody wants to hear your fucking repentance story or whatever."
Right.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like those people have a hard time relating to the fact that like when you're 13 or when you're 14, like literally as a young white male in particular, or as just a young male, it's like you don't have any instinct besides like I want to offend and I want to push the fucking
Sure.
boundaries and I want to figure out what I'm not allowed to do.
Sure.
And your goal, your impulse is to really push that limit. And so like I was never one of those like gamer kids calling everybody racist names or whatever, but I've known dudes who did that, and I don't.
Shit, I've done it, man.
Really? See, I don't consider those dudes like racist, like for life,
Not a
because
racist.
yeah, it's just sort of like that. When you look at 4chan, when you look at Reddit, it's like this is like a phase that kids go through. I'm lucky that for me, it was like I was 14 and I was like drawing a fucking Nazi symbol or like or I was doing something stupid in my notebook, and it didn't have any ramifications.
Sure. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like with a lot of human beings, you just can't fucking trust them and shit. So it's like, yeah, there's plenty of people who did a lot of fucked up shit, and then at some point something clicks in their head, or even the whole time while it's happening, I think, subconsciously, like the shit's wrong, it just eats away at you, and then it just gets to a point where you're just like, I don't want to be this fucking person anymore, and then you feel better and blah, 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 blah. But for every one of those, there's 5-6 other motherfuckers that are pieces of shit,
Right,
and
and
they just get into a good position, and then they have to fucking clear the fact that, oh man, like, well, I'm getting this money, so I can't let people know what a shitty fuck I am anymore, and then, so it's hard to believe anybody, there's, I would believe some people are good fucks, but I don't know. I just don't trust most human beings, and I can understand why nobody.
Were you ever
else
like a
would.
racist video game kid?
Racist video game?
That's such a thing,
You would have found out
I
by
never
now. I
had
feel
video
like.
games, and I was never like calling people racist shit.
Right. I used to have a roommate back in Brooklyn, and he was a white dude, and he would play video games like 10 hours a day because he's on disability or some bullshit. And like literally, like I don't think I ever heard him say anything racist, but I would constantly hear the fucking N-word, hard R, and everything. Like him getting called this name by people who obviously didn't know that he was white, and just being like,
No, I'll bet you
fuck,
they
gaming is
probably knew
crazy.
that he was white, and they just fucking call everybody.
That's their fucking language
That's
at
just
that
what
point.
it-
Yeah, it's like
Kids are insane.
It's like a safe space that these kids like find themselves in, where they just feel like. And I could imagine you out here, there, Ned, bearded woman, nice seeing you. I don't know. It's just something where like I can kind of understand. Like I'm glad that I didn't grow up in that like crazy like forum world, or I somehow like managed to avoid that, because that is such a thing for like young kids. Like
Yeah.
Like 12-year-old kids are probably the most evil human beings.
yeah, you're 12. You find about a 4chan, and you're like, oh, this is a place where I could literally say anything and be as funny as I fucking want, and there's
Shit, when I was a kid, I used to go in AOL chat rooms in like a hip hop chat room.
Right.
And if you're like, oh man, I love Redman. I could like Redman. Fuck Redman, he's a faggot. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Just that's what you do on the internet, and shouldn't be up fucking till 6 a.m. Fuck you, you're a faggot. Fuck you. Fuck, you know what I mean? There's a high that goes along with doing that.
Can I tell
Trolling.
like my really embarrassing internet story that I never thought I would ever tell anyone? Is in
Please do.
In 1997, when my parents first got AOL, me and my what are you gonna do on AOL? Me and my friends went at Hanson. You remember them?
Yeah.
Bop. They were like the biggest stars in the world at that time or whatever. And me and my friends would go in the Hanson chat rooms and just talk shit and be like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, you listen to Hanson. I don't even remember, like, this sounds so ridiculous now, but I got my parents' AOL account blocked.
Yeah.
They got tossed.
They were tossed.
TOS.
Yes,
I
they were
remember that
fucking.
shit, boy. I got
Imagine the
tossed by
conversation with my parents when my mom literally got an email from AOL that said like your son called someone gay for listening to Hanson.
Like committing hate crimes.
And my mom like obviously has no context to understand like how this occurred, and she was so bummed. We got our internet taken away for like a year and a half, and I think that is sort of like I became like a real person during that time. Like that was when I started to just like go out and rob ride my bike all the time and like hang out with girls and start
Getting
to like.
tossed saved your life.
It really did in a lot of
You
ways.
develop
saved
a
your life,
character.
to be honest.
But then I got the internet like 2 years later, and then it was weird too because then I was back online, but I all of a sudden had this like perspective where I'm like, oh, I've been out in the real world for a year and a half and 2 years, and now I've got the internet again, and maybe I can do something that like pulls all
Use
this.
your power, you know, and then
Yeah.
you realize like that you have to be careful.
Yeah, and the fact that I then went on to become like an internet guy, it's got to be related to that somehow. If I had just stayed,
You got to do some human developing, and then
Right.
got back on. A lot of motherfuckers honestly don't get to fucking develop.
If I had just stayed in that like internet fucking web that I was in when I was like 13 or 12,
Yeah.
I probably would have been like a 4chan kid or like a Reddit kid.
That's why I worry about like the next generation, because they just imagine being like 6 years old and you can just go watch like anything.
Yeah.
On the internet.
What effect does that have on your brain at some point? Yeah.
If I was a kid and I had a fucking phone in class, I was such a piece of shit when I was a kid. They like built a box in the back of the room that they fucking kept me in. You know, I couldn't imagine the kind of stupid shit I'd be doing and posting on the internet.
Right.
Fucking this dick face fucking shooting some fucking bitch the other day and put it on his fucking Facebook.
yeah.
That wacky shit. Shit's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that's why it's weird too when like I think I have like a better perspective when like people get called out for their old tweets. And I'm kind of like, bro, like you can't judge somebody from like what they were doing 3 years ago. Like somebody could have changed a lot in 3 years, you know?
Yeah, remember that when that happened when somebody found out how to do that and they posted up like, I feel it was like
It was
Yams or somebody talking, like clowning on somebody, and then somebody
Reddit
else
face.
clowning on somebody else, and
But-
blah, blah, blah,
yo.
blah, blah. And they were like,
like-
bro, this fucking. And the people were working together at this point and getting
Right.
money, and they're like, man,
It was when like
Weird.
Rocky or French Montana or whatever was doing songs with Drake. And then
Yeah,
if
it was
you-
like something
if
like
you go
that.
back super far into ASAP Rocky's like Twitter file, and I know this
anti-Drake,
because I'm,
right?
huh?
It's like super anti-Drake.
Right, but it wasn't him. It was Yams.
Yeah, it was
Because
Yams.
The
and shit
original
when
Twitter
yeah,
account was all
That's
Yams.
when he was Eastside Steve.
And he basically like called Drake a faggot or
Yeah,
said something
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
crazy. He said a bunch of crazy
Sure.
shit back in the day,
But
which
your
is like
opinions
That's what
change,
you do
man.
on
You
the
know?
you're
internet.
not in the
Like
industry.
I'm a contradiction, you
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
everybody is. I feel.
I talk shit about fucking everybody on the internet. That's-
You ever
that's
worried
what
that
it
any of
is.
your old school internet shit will come back to get you?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know what though. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just being like a dumb kid saying stupid shit.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about that, but there were like some drawings that I did when I was like 13 or 14. Like, you know, the last podcast we were doing with Ned, he was talking about how he used to like make diss songs about fucking his friends in school and stuff. And I was just thinking, like, when I was 13, I remember getting suspended for literally like writing a parody of like a Backstreet Boys song about like me and my friends literally with a piece of paper writing like a parody of like you want it that way or whatever the fuck it was, and just making it about this girl in our school that we hated.
Yeah, I that just.
I'm
brought
glad
up
that's not
crazy
online.
memory. I did some fucking pretty horrible shit too when I was maybe 7th, 8th grade, something like that. One of the homeboys was with a chick for like a year or two, like, you know, took her virginity type shit, and then she loved him to death, blah, 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 blah. And he decided he was going to break up with her. And apparently I wrote like a verse about her being like a dirty slut bitch, da-da-da-da-da-da. And all day, like the beginning of the day in school, he was like, oh, I want to read this poem to you in front of everybody, profess my love. You know, we've been together for like 2 years.
And he read your lyrics.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, it's making my heart
God,
fucking...
this
So
is
now I
serious,
totally
yeah.
forgot
That's
about this
mean
shit.
shit.
And I remember looking at her face, man. She was so happy at first. At like thinking, you know, and then her brain started putting the words together as he's saying it, and then she just broke the fuck down and ran for her life. And we thought that was so fucking funny. And yeah, now looking back, hey, I forgot the broad's name, but Jesus Christ, man. I know that she ended up being in a bad relationship with somebody that would beat her up and had a bunch of kids with him. So
It's your fault, dude.
Yo, Serb just whispered to me. He looked at me and said, kids are mean.
It's
but
true.
that explains so
I
much.
thought I was so cool when I was doing that. And
Right.
Kids are evil.
There's all these people trying to make sense of like things that people said online when they were 13 online and stuff, and it's like, bro, like you can't those are your developmental ages. You have to push against the edges in order to figure out. I like how this started out as a Nick Colletti interview and then turned into like us confessing our like underage internet sins. I like this. What your rap taste? Do you remember when you first heard rap music?
No.
Do you remember when you were first affected by rap music?
Yes.
What?
Odd Future.
Really? Wow, that's intense. What was it? So that was 2010,
Yep.
maybe. So
10th grade.
yeah, you were still young as
So
fuck.
crazy.
And what was it like about Odd Future? Because I remember I was already like a long-term rap fan, but I remember seeing Odd Future and being like, yo, this is fucking sick that they're like skate kids
Yeah.
from L.A.
Just like how vulgar and fucking crazy it was. I was like honestly afraid of Odd Future for like a day.
a day.
I was like, this shit is so crazy.
Wow, that's interesting.
It was scary. I mean, they were talking about shit that I thought about, but wouldn't have the balls to put over a song. Like,
Did you hear that Tyler the Creator is banned from the UK for like 5 years?
crazy?
He's a crazy fuck.
For
that
like
guy.
saying faggot in a song like 5 years ago. It's like it's all shit
Wait.
from back in the day and stuff.
He's banned for saying faggot, and I thought, like, I assumed he jumped off of something into somebody.
No,
and
it was
shit.
something like inciting hate speech and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, number one, the UK has bigger problems than Tyler the Creator. There's like a significant like white power movement in that country. Like if you want to talk about racism or homophobia or whatever. But he's also a person who I think pretty clearly has like identified in his interviews or whatever that he's not racist, he's not white power, or he's not homophobic. Obviously, he's not white power.
He's pretty
he's
white
black.
power, that Tyler the Creator. He's the most white power guy.
Right, he's not a homophobe. He says has said faggot in songs, but he's given it some context.
Didn't South Park make it like they legally changed the word faggot? It doesn't mean what it used to. Remember, you ever seen that South Park episode where it's all the bikers are driving in and fucking it's all super loud and they're like these fucking annoying faggots and they're like. We're not saying it has
bikers,
nothing
that
to do
means
with.
bikers, like
It
tough
has nothing to do
bikers.
with fucking their sexuality. They're just loud and annoying and fucking shitty fucks. So like fucking faggots, you know. Fucking
Right.
South Park changed the meaning. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. And you know, I agree with South Park and like in every platform on planet Earth.
I think banning Tyler the Creator is racist. I don't know why, but I feel like it is.
Easily,
Yeah.
because it's the UK, so you think of him as like.
And if he's a homo, then they're the ones who are homophobic. Because what do they know? Maybe he's a closet
very
homo.
judgmental.
So
Yeah.
what do they? Yeah.
The UK.
Is this a real thing? We're gonna like briefly consider like whether Tyler the
I
Creator
don't
might be
fucking
gay.
know what Tyler the Creator does. Hell no, I'm not gonna.
Either way, I don't care what he does. I just don't think he should be banned from the UK.
Yeah, that's
for
what
his
I'm. That's
lyrics.
the point I'm getting to. You know.
Regardless of his lyrics, like he could literally say like I want to murder every homosexual that is alive in the United States right now, and I still don't think he should be banned from the UK.
I agree. He should get his money out there. You know what I
like,
mean?
he should be allowed to say what the fuck he wants. Yeah.
I agree.
It's music, yeah. This is another question. What do you listen to right now? Like, what are your most played
Thug.
songs? Young Thug.
Halftime, it's all I listen to.
That one song.
One song.
That one song is good enough that
Pretty good song.
I consider that a pretty
So
valid
good,
opinion.
It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure in that fucking whatever the fuck where they try to say that him and Birdman were set up Wayne to get killed, that they have the lyrics of that song as part
I think that's
of.
a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the arraignment.
They say that Lil Wayne used to be called Lil Wody, and that Thug said he's gonna pop him with the rifle, and in the video,
No,
these
it's
fucking
like one of his
retards.
homies who, like, at that moment in the video, points the fake gun at the screen and like pops it or whatever.
Yeah.
and they're like, that is, and
That's clearly fucking
They're
lock
right.
up that fucking Young Thug.
they're
Jesus.
clearly right. Like Young Thug is clearly
He's talking about,
gang-affiliated.
and
Yes,
he's
I mean,
telling him, he's like, I'm gonna kill Lil Wayne, who they think, who used to be called Lil Wody. I don't ever recall Lil Wayne being called Lil Wody. Was
no,
that ever?
that's
a thing?
ridiculous. Lil Wody is just like if you watch Baller Block and you watch any of the listen to any of the old
That's
Cash
just a
Money.
New Orleans thing.
Yeah, it's just that's what they call each other.
Yeah. That's what
Wody.
Wody.
my impression
And so
always was.
that
That kid was calling me Wody, but I thought he was saying would I.
No, yeah, because
I-
that was the weird thing when Drake came out with that album, and it was like running through the six with my woes, and every single person was like, "Woes, like you're really biting like New Orleans slang from like 1999." And then he came out with some other weird explanation of like what it's supposed to mean or whatever.
Yeah, well,
I
you
had
had
one
to
of my
find
friends.
out.
hit
It
me
had
up
more to do with Joey Lawrence and being like, whoa.
Yeah, from Blossom.
Yeah, there we go.
Dude, Nick Colletti's too young to remember.
I know,
Blossom,
old people
probably.
reference.
Damn, we should just talk about like the Golden Girls and shit, right?
That's my favorite show.
Really? See, Nick Colletti's very wholesome. Like he might smoke a lot of dabs and stuff, but he's very like it's.
I love the Golden Girls.
I
Who's your
think
favorite character?
Are you
Not
good
right
right
now,
now?
dude.
Mikey, did you want to?
well, you're high right
He's
now.
like, oh yeah, I already put one out for you, bro.
That's tight.
I totally forgot to.
I'm gonna take a look at the rest of our questions here. The Puya question, the freestyling on stage question, the Puya talking about you having bitches. Have you ever had sex with a Vine groupie? Do you remember the Lean team?
No.
They used to do videos with Riff Raff. And then actually because so they were like the worst rappers ever. If you look up
yeah, I
Riff
do
Raff, the
remember
Lean
that.
team. Yo, I'm gonna fucking we just started doing this on the show, but I'm gonna fucking do this
Play
because
an instrumental so we could freestyle. No, I'm just
do you really want to do that?
No.
What about your music career, Nick?
What?
What about your music career? Is this something you take very seriously? Because you have an album out coming out soon, right?
I'm gonna make an announcement here, and I'm gonna give you the exclusive.
I need that.
But when I hit 1 million followers on Vine, I'm just like gonna be done vining because I fucking hate it.
You're gonna stop vining.
Yeah, I'm done.
He's
with
done.
Vining.
Is this like a Jay-Z thing where you're
Yeah.
retiring?
The Black Album.
And then, like, you
Retiring
might come
my
back?
Vine account. No, I'm just like over it. Like I wanted to get 1 million. I'm probably gonna hit that.
Check this out. This is Riff Raff and the Lean Team from back in the day. And I just want to say that when I, because I remember this from back in the day, but when I, like, for some reason I ended up looking at this recently and I started going to the Twitter, I started going to some interviews that they did, and I found, like, evidence that every single dude in this has deleted their Twitter or changed their name. I found one dude who was like, yo, like, I'll put you in touch with the Lean Team or whatever. Like, it's clearly just a group of fucking pieces of shit who just hit up Riff Raff and were like, yo, we need a guest verse.
Sure.
That T-Pain shirt is fucking awesome.
It's ridiculous. These dudes, once you hear them
Oh
rapping,
man,
like,
they're so good at rapping.
Riff Raff shits on them so hard.
Riff Raff's
Full of that coke. I'm full of
They
that
even rented a
coke.
hotel room.
But basically, like, I've had an incredibly hard time getting in touch with these guys because I want to, like, I've written a little bit of stuff for, like,
They got
Noisy.
corporate jobs. That's
Yeah.
why.
This shit's pretty tight so far, though.
Wait till you hear these.
Riff Raff can rap.
These other three guys. Wait till you hear them rap. Because basically, like, one night I saw Riff Raff go on a fucking crazy rant on Twitter, and he, like, deleted it soon after. But he basically was just like, "Yo, fuck the Lean Team." He deleted it right after. Also, I want to say that during that same era, I have seen Riff Raff use the N-word on Twitter and then delete it immediately and never really got called out for it.
Screenshot.
But not hard R, right?
No, NIGGA, yeah. But I try to get in touch with these kids. I want to know what the fuck the circuit, because this is like Boston area too, so this is kind of where I'm from. And the fact that they, like, now seem to not exist on the internet is just so fascinating to me, that there was a point in their lives where they were, like, hanging out with Riff Raff and paying Riff Raff to be in their video. And, like, being from New England, like, this background here, like, where they're rapping in front of, looks like every single corner store where I grew up. And
Sure.
there's a Burger King across the street, and that makes sense as well.
They're probably, 18, 19 years old here. Then they got real jobs. Because they
Probably,
probably have, fucking...
That's post.
He's got,
connections.
yo,
At
he's got an
they called
OG.
it and
He said
bowed
that's
out.
Post Malone. Listen to this guy.
He sounds confident.
Oh my god.
What?
What?
He knows
just
that
said
for a
Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa can't roll. I know that for a
slander.
Does
fact.
Wiz know about this?
There will be no
Burn.
slander.
Wait till the diss track from Wiz comes out after this drops. I like that he's got an OG4 logo in his hand because that really tells you, like, the time period, you know?
Oh yeah.
He's got the tightest, like, braid mullet I've ever seen.
Bro, this is New England. This is
Talking about
Massachusetts right
Zans
there.
Way before Zans were.
Yeah.
popping.
These
Yeah.
guys were
He
on to some
made
shit,
Zans.
man.
The chorus
This
is,
guy.
body full of coke, I'm full of that dro. But what could be better than that? This is hip-hop to me right here.
That's real hip hop right there. I'm pretty sure KRS-One is filming this whole thing.
The Lean Team featuring KRS-One.
Real shit.
We gotta find
That's
these
the
kids.
coolest guy.
I'm so glad that we're watching this right now because literally, like,
guy's
these
really a
kids
dope
are
head.
gonna find us because of this, and they're gonna fucking get in touch, and they're gonna all fly out here and do this.
I don't want to
interview.
fight you, Lean Team. You
Nah,
guys
no,
look
we don't want
tough
to fight
as
you. We
shit.
want to drink lean with you and smoke a blunt and just
You
chill.
guys
Like,
look super tough.
look, Patriots apparel on.
Woo, so I get some power.
Is that the Crooks and Castles shirt?
Yes, it is. Definitely hit Carmeloot for that shit.
Definitely.
Pre-Carmeloot,
Bowers.
pre-bankruptcy.
Sour. At least this guy raps more on beat. He sounds more confident
Oh,
than
the first
that's
guy was
pretty
so bad.
The first guy was not very confident.
I wonder if Nick Colletti's kind of like relieved that like this interview has slowly devolved into like us watching this Riff Raff video.
Yeah, how did this happen so quickly?
And we're already an hour and 20 minutes in.
Oh boy.
And
10
we're running
minutes
out
of
of battery. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. All right. Well, that
I
was
want
the
to know
lean
what
team.
Nick's going to do when he stops vining. Like, what are your
Yeah, what are you going to do when you stop vining?
music or
I'm
like...
I'm like done with Vine. I'm just gonna dedicate all my time to like my music and my craft. I don't know, I
Music?
feel like it's time to like what the fuck is Vine gonna, you know?
Are you gonna delete or are you just gonna stop?
I think I might just stop.
Yeah.
Not delete
I don't
it.
think you should delete.
I think I'm just gonna keep it.
Would you then, if you're focusing on your music, are you just going to use your Vine to post music shit on it? Because it's still a way of advertising.
Exactly.
Would you not
That's what
want
you should do. I
to
think
do that.
is stop doing the funny vines, but use it as
I'm not going to
straight
support.
up
I'm not going to
I wanna
support.
see the
I'm not going to
Vines
support
personally.
you stopping doing the
Yeah.
funny vines. They're very funny to me.
I
I don't.
agree.
I
I
barely
agree.
watch
Totally.
TV
Yeah.
for the last few years. Was last year or two. Fucking
Yeah, as a
been
fan,
watching you do a
yeah.
bunch of funny shit, but. By all means, you know what I mean. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking game is
It's
fucked.
gonna be, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I still have to like deliberate with myself.
See, I don't, yeah. I would hate to see you. I've never like looked at your Vine and just see the shit on Twitter, which is cool to me that like I don't have to actually be a Vine dude to engage with your shit. But I would say, yeah, like, bro, don't delete your whole thing because
Don't delete.
you got to like just abuse your fan base and just every single time you're doing anything, you need to make a Vine and just straight up be like, yo, I'm doing a set at this club tonight.
Right.
Come fuck with me. Just let everybody down. Like, don't be funny at all. That'd be ill.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like still up for. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel you though.
Yeah.
He briefly, when we did the Gangsta Boo interview, he was just like, nah, I'm like, you know, she shouted him out. She's like, you popping on Vine, I fucks with you because of that. And he was just straight up like, damn, maybe I'm not going to delete it after all.
Sure. But I feel you. You feel. I remember Mike Tyson back in the day. He said, like, no bitch can really love him. They can never know his real aura and shit. You know what I mean? They only know Mike Tyson and the shit that's fucking.
They don't know
along.
like Michael Tyson.
Yeah, they don't know about Michael
know
Tyson
Nicholas
and
Colletti.
shit, you know what I mean? And then like I understand, I could see how you come out to LA, everybody's all fucking weird and fucking, you know. I'm not to say that that's the reason. I'm just, you know.
I mean, it's like. I don't know. It's like it's Vine. Like what?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? He'll go through many stages in his career, and this is just one of the inevitable ones.
I get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyway, this has been the Nick Colletti podcast featuring the AintNobodyCool.com guys. We I think we discussed like a decent amount about your career and everything. We probably discussed a lot of stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with your career. But I think that you kind of wanted it that way. You know, it's the overall discussion. Maybe we could have you on again. It's all good.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
No, it was my pleasure. Thank you for co-hosting on the Gangsta Boo podcast as well. It felt like we really made a big contribution to black culture that day. or just
great woman.
3-6 culture. She is a great woman, and I would definitely vote for her. And I feel like she kind of was like an inevitable. That's the weird thing. She's 35. She's old as fuck for a rapper, but I don't even think she's old enough to be the president.
I think 35.
What is the
38.
limit?
Is she running?
No, but I mean, I believe that if she did, she would probably win.
I think so.
I'd vote for.
I'd vote for her.
35
Gangsta Boo is really good at rapping. I've
Gangsta Boo's crazy good at
always felt that. I actually know some Gangsta Boo verses, and I don't know any other females.
See, that's why me and her, 35. You got to be 35. I think she's ready.
The Waka Flocka was lying. Remember, he said he was gonna.
Yeah.
He was running for president.
It's ridiculous.
Doesn't he know how to do
35?
math?
Like,
Waka
you're telling me
Flocka?
that a 25-year-old couldn't be president?
God
Yeah.
damn it.
They could be a representative. They could be building their way up. I think that probably the issue is that like no sub 35-year-old has ever like given a serious effort to being president. If that were to happen, I
we
think
get
that this would be
George Bush
found
back?
unconstitutional at some point.
Right.
I wish we can bring George Bush back. That guy was fucking hilarious.
We should at least give him a show.
He was
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah. We need to bring him back on TV. I want to see more George Bush.
I want to see a Nick Colletti Donald Trump beef on stage at the Republican National Convention.
I don't even know anything about anything that they would be talking about, so I'd just be like,
That'd be
whatever.
way tight.
Yeah,
Give Donald the mic.
give him the mic.
He knows what's up.
All
The
right,
Donald. Don't they call that guy the Donald?
the Donald, yeah.
The
The Alex, the Serp, the Nick. Thank you very much for coming on here. The Nick Colletti. Actually, that's not very creative on my part. That's actually his Twitter name. But thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Scott for filming, Brandon
Thank you,
Began for
Scott.
chilling, Two Stacks for chilling, and
Stacks.
Ned already ran off with his harem. But
Wow, he's such a player.
he really is.
He do legit be fucking a lot of black broads, huh? That's
He
his
fucked
thing.
at least 3 on my couch, and he stayed at my house for 3 days. 3 days, 3 different black girls. This is dead ass real.
What's the name of
Couch
his album?
sex is actually so awesome.
Hell yeah, but
It's so
I prefer
confined.
couch.
I haven't
thought
had
it
a
was-
couch for so long.
really
I
have to
can't
use your
remember what
noodle
it's like.
You sleep on the couch?
Practices, too?
No, I haven't had a couch in so long.
I
Since
should
fucking-
bring it out later.
I need to get me a
Bend
couch.
down.
No, but that's real shit. That Ned like came into my room the next day and was like, "Bro, I fucked this black girl in the ass on your couch," and like he knew that I would be down with it. I was like, that is tight. Like, that's the coolest thing I heard in a while. But most people would not react that way. Most people would be like, you're an asshole. You had sex with some random person on my couch.
Anal sex.
I would have dropped
Anal
a
sex.
brick on his head and do that shit at my crib. Fucking
See,
don't let me know, man.
I like that he appreciates that I'm a fan of the art of the game. You know, it's like if you're putting in work on my couch, how can I hate? You know,
Can fuck at my house. Just
Yeah.
I don't want nobody fucking, but I don't want to be by no dudes come ever, never,
next
forever.
Tinder date I got, I'm gonna be like, yo, meet me at this address, and I'm gonna give him Nick Colletti's address, and if he's not home or fucking in the yard.
Hey man, whatever. Free love.
This has been No Jumper. Thank you very much, Nick Colletti.
Yeah.
Follow him on Vine, because if you follow him on Vine, he's gonna be one step closer to quitting. Or unfollow him.
don't
Actually, would be a
Unfollow
cool
Nick
idea.
Colletti.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfollow
Never
Nicola.
stops his
Yeah,
vibe.
that's
I wanna
right.
unfollow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch and unfollow.
We out here. All right, nojumper.com. It's not a real website yet, but it'll be soon. Follow us on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that shit. Might have a Stitcher by the time, and I still don't really know what Stitcher is, but it's like a podcast thing. OnSomeShit.com.